Dobrý deň, vítajte pri sledovaní relácie Portrét. Dnes hostíme otca so synom, dvojicu, ktorá svoje životy absolútne podriadila hudbe. Obaja veria, že ako každá vášeň, aj táto má zmysel iba vtedy, keď sa robí oddane, poctivo a keď prináša ľuďom radosť. Otec je najvplyvnejším človekom vo svete vážnej hudby. Operou žije 50 rokov, na konte má 140 javiskových úloh. A jeho syna zlákal spev, skladá však aj piesne. Dnes hostíme Plácida Dominga, seniora a juniora. Dobrý deň, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good evening.
I think it's more than symbolic that we're meeting in Slovakia, because through my research I realized in 2010, for the very first time in Europe, you've been staying on the same stage and performing. Is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah? You remember?
Yeah, that is correct. I had the pleasure of being
We were
allowed to perform in
together,
one of my
yes.
father's concerts here in 2010.
Tell me a little bit of the atmosphere and the emotions. How is it like performing both together on the stage?
Well, I can say that Platy will also answer you, but for me, I feel very proud. Since he was very little, he studied music. He really was at the Hochschule in Vienna studying, and he has been a composer. He's a great musician, and he has always a beautiful voice. But he just later, he's thinking about singing, and I think he does it so beautiful. So, and that was the very first time that then we sang together something. And what a coincidence that now he's doing his very first complete concert, here also in Bratislava. That's wonderful.
Placido, when you were performing together with your father, do you see him as an authority on the stage? Do you see your father, or you see an artist performing at the moment?
I see both things,
Which is the bigger authority?
to me, the father.
Yeah.
Because as the artist, he may not be as harsh with me as a father.
Yeah.
As a father, he has the full authority to tell me anything, good or bad,
Is
that
he
he needs to
critical?
correct. Huh?
Is he critical?
My father, he's a very constructive person, so criticism is not the appropriate word. Anything he would say would be to make me better and to help me, and with good intention. So the word criticism is a hard word, It's a hard word, And the perfect person for that is also my mother, My mother,
Marta.
If my mother gives the thumbs up,
It was very
it really
good.
means the thumbs up, It really means. So if 100 people say I don't like it, but my mother likes it, I feel good.
Yeah,
I feel good.
I said the same,
Yeah.
as a wife and a husband. We were singing many times together, and she will hear a performance of mine, and the public was very happy, and I would see her face.
Uh-oh.
And I said, oh. Here is something to arrange, something to say. And thanks to that, because she has been always very, very open to her own opinion, and her own opinion happened to be really right. She has she has prepared herself. She has a tremendous, terrific taste, ear, aesthetics.
I should
everything.
just put the story complete together for the viewers at this moment, because she was an opera singer as well, but she gave up her career for you and for the rest of the family.
I'm the guilty one.
No, it's not playing guilty, but she created a space for all of you to create what you love.
Yeah.
How is it possible that you were able to survive like a family during those years when you had a huge career, and you still have? And it's like a life of an athlete. You will be always on the run, always giving the best, always proving 100%. That's very demanding. So what is Marta's role in this?
Well, I think first of all, it was a very difficult situation for her. For me, it was tough. Because it was tough to travel around and to have to leave the children, a lot of time. For her, it was really tougher, because she really had to divide herself in between being with the children and then being with me. Because it was not only my wife, which it will be a normal thing that is with me, but it was also in the proceeding of that I have to improve, and teaching me and advising me, So we really
how does it look like? I'm sorry, interrupting you. She's playing a piano. She's telling you, do this, do that.
No, she just has the ear, as the year, and she is a wife and see the performances in the public. Because many wives of the artists, they see it backstage, so they don't see anything.
Oh,
you
so
know?
they don't see the emotions of
they
the,
don't
of
see
the
anything,
auditorium?
you know. So when somebody hears you, and it's the person that loves you and you love, and it's telling you what is happening, it's fantastic. It's phenomenal, you know. So she was unbelievable, and the children also, because they sometimes, you know, one weekend maybe we used to live in Barcelona, and if I was in Vienna, so maybe one weekend I happened to be able to go to Barcelona, but the next weekend maybe no, and they will come, and you know, the children, they are persons since they are little, you know. They have their own friends, they have their own
Connections,
yeah.
you know. They want to play, they want to do, and they were coming. So it was really a big sacrifice for all my family, you know, for the children and Marta especially. But because they love so much, I think they absorb this and they don't resent it, which I don't resent it either. I only resent the time I was not with her. That I resented very much.
And Plácido, for you as a child, did you ever regret that your father is a well-known?
To me, honestly, the way that I saw it is that there was so much quality time instead of quantity.
Yes, I get it.
The quality is so perfect. You have parents that can come for 2, 3, 4 years. They come back every evening, leave the briefcase, have dinner, kiss their kids goodnight, watch a TV show, and it's the same routine 4 or 5 years. The intensity of what we live as a family is so powerful. You know, it's like children come to Barcelona, come to Milan, come to Paris. Now we go to Tokyo, now we go to China on a trip.
Yeah.
And we travel with our parents and spend 10 days that are probably more intense than somebody spent in 6 months of their life. You see?
I understand.
So when you look at a life at that level, being away, it doesn't hurt so much because you know that when you're together, it's going to be fantastic.
Definitely.
You
So
know?
how do you manage it with your daughters? You have daughters.
Yeah.
So
Exactly
big
the
boy,
same way.
how do you manage it?
Exactly the same
The
way.
same
I
way?
have 3 daughters. You know, unfortunately, due to some certain circumstances, I was divorced. You know, but it's the intensity of the time when we're together. You know, we just have a blast, and they're growing. You know, people grow. You know, 2 of them are teenagers, and they have their own friends. They have their own lives. You know. And sometimes we get too dramatic, you know, about, you know, well, Daddy, I miss you and I love you. And they're going, yeah, sure, Daddy, you know, I'm having fun, I'm doing this, you know. It's good to let them grow, you know. You give them advice and you see that they're going okay, but it's good to give them their space, you know. And luckily, I was given a lot my space, either because of freedom or because they could not be on top of me all the time. Whatever the reason was, it was okay.
I was talking about your performance tonight with some of the people who were sitting at the concert, and I was just listening into the talk of all these people, and one of the topics came out all the time, comparing you to your father. You're both intelligent men. You knew before you made your decision to sing that it's going to come. So how do you treat it? Always comparing one with other.
I think this answer, it has to be done by both, you know.
Yeah.
I do believe that people must be more intelligent than that, because, okay, I have a half-century career as an opera singer, you know. Plácido is not wanting to make an operatic career, you know. Yeah. He's singing with his absolutely beautiful voice, you know, line and heart. She's singing crossover repertoire, you know, crossover repertoire. He can sing anything, you know. He can sing leader if he wants, because with that line of voice and that beauty, you know. But obviously, he doesn't want to be an opera singer, so they will take him as the artist that he is. Yeah. Who is going to be the public of Plácidom? The public of Plácidom is going to be very much people that they really follow my career and they want to see, but they will come already knowing that. And also then it's a young public. It is a generation that there are in between the 30s and the 40s, and they love
50s,
you know,
60s, 70s.
the music, you know, the music of
and the
of
appearance,
these years.
because it's a different personality, it's a different charisma.
Oh,
The way how you sing the
me,
same song.
me, you know, like Austin Powers is the me.
No, Plácidom, you have seen today that not only is the beauty of the voice, the way he says, the way he expresses, he's really amazing with his musicality, his timing, you know, his acting. The public really loves him, you know, and it is. I mean, he has that personality that, you know, it takes the public.
And he has one extra talent, and it is composing.
Exactly.
Which is a completely different angle of understanding the music.
Yeah.
Do you believe it shows up in your performance?
I think from the way that I phrase or that I sing something, that there's a certain groove, there's a flow, you know, that's within me, you know, that it's probably helped, you know, by the composing, by the music. But definitely I try to sing with my heart. And the only person that I've learned that from is from here, from my father. You know, you can hear many singers, but if it's not coming from the heart, each phrase, it's different, you know.
It's like being on a duty.
Yeah, and I always say, try to sing, try to mean what you sing. You know, the words, you know, when they write words, it's for a reason. You know, if you're sad, you're sad. If you're angry, you're angry. But there's not like a monotonous, neutral feeling, and you're not interpreting with your voice what you're singing. You know,
you hear that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say that it really was a wonderful concert, you know, because it has even the classic aspect. Well,
yeah, Shostakovich,
pianist, you know,
fantastic.
David is a tremendous pianist. And then Susan and
Janet, beautiful. Susan.
They really, I mean, Susan, my God, she goes into such a unbelievable repertoire, you know, singing really well, you know, expressing, feeling.
Broadway, Barbra
and her
Streisand.
daughter also, you know.
So now we're getting to the point when we realize how important it is to be a team and to have good partners on the stage. Because they can push you, they can leave you the space. Sometimes you rivals, sometimes you partners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a luck in your life choosing right partners in your career?
Well, you know, I have been very lucky and very open. Because
Open in what sense?
Open in the side that they were sometimes in the operatic career. It was, you know, Giuseppe Di Stefano was very much connected with Maria Callas, and Mario del Monaco with Renata Tebaldi, and then it came to Pavarotti with John Sutherland. And I have to say that I sang with everybody.
Yeah.
All my recordings, all my things, okay, so if it was Caballé, it was Caballé, if it was Sutherland, Nilsson, Tebaldi, you know, Freni, Tikhanoa,
so
you know.
it wasn't like, no, this person is not my range.
No. I just sang with everybody, and I enjoyed Scotto, marvelous performances and recordings, you know. I think that I have been lucky to have all the variety, then it gives you even more inspiration, because you know every other production and every other recording is somebody. Even if I do sing with some of them more, but I cannot single named one.
And with the three tenors, it was an enormous success. Like you brought classical music to millions of people. And this is what Slovak viewers will really reflect to as well, because they do remember you, this trio. At the first moment of the idea to make a trio, what was your expression? Is it a good thing?
Well, I tell you why it was a good thing, because it was a very dear friend, Mario Draghi, that came to ask me, because our colleague Jose Carreras has been more than a year fighting for his life. He has leukemia, and he won. He survived, and then it was like a welcome him
Back.
Back. And then we choose something that it was the three. We are very much football. We love football, you know. And so Pavarotti, it was the Juventus, Jose Carreras de Barcelona, and I read the Real Madrid.
Oh.
And then we decided that we should do the first concert in 1990, which was the opening. The opening of the
Italian World Cup.
Before the closing, the last game in Italy, you know. So
Now
then it became a tradition within many concerts, and I think we really bring a lot of people to this classic world. You know.
Did you succeed not to treat each other like rivals?
I think that we have a great time. We have a great time choosing the repertoire, rehearsing, and I think that when you know how tough it is. I mean, you are not somebody that you are going to say, oh my God, I hope he does bad. I mean, this is ridiculous, you know, you will never do that. You want still to be the best one. You want to make it better, you know? I mean, if somebody sings a beautiful phrase, it's that, I want to top that phrase, if I'm able.
So, yes, you did compete, but not in a way that you would compete against
But it's not matter of envy, it's matter of saying, oh God, I mean, so here we are, I mean, it's like three lions there, you know, and here we are giving all the best. So that's the competitive side. It was only positive and only to improve the evening.
People are wondering if you still feel the excitement while you are on stage, because it's not only that you're giving concerts, but you really do perform at this age. I've been reading articles about you going, like stopping singing for the last 15 or 20 years. As journalists asking you, like, when do you retire? And here we go, you sit here, you still sing. Is it still an excitement for you?
Of course, I mean, I won't do it. I won't even thinking, you know, if I didn't have the passion and the willpower that I have to do it, I wouldn't even think of going. I mean, what else do I have to prove? You know, I have been over 50 years singing. I mean, if I don't have, I have the need of doing it because I have the passion and because I feel that I can do it. You know, I have been very, very careful selecting my repertoire. Now I have changed to some baritone roles, even if I'm not a baritone, but I have the color, and I think I'm improving. Even in the baritone, every day my voice is getting darker, you know, so now even if I'm not a baritone, and as long as I can sing, as the public comes to see me, the theater is full, and I'm feeling fine, and, you know, in good health, I will do it, you know. I don't put a limit to myself, you know, it's really...
You're not stopping yourself.
It's really, you know, from up there when they will say, okay, enough.
Both of you like to experiment. You had sing some sacred songs. I went through the internet, listened to several ones. Now you had a new album, 20 songs, which are very unusual for your repertoire, and to coupling with different people, you know, even from show business. I liked it a lot. Is this experimenting still a big satisfaction for you? Like, I can still try something new, enjoy something new?
You know, in this record, I have, after many years, at the beginning I was exclusive with RCA, then all the rest of my life I was freelance. Now, about 2 years ago, Sony offered me an exclusive contract. And actually, Plácidom has helped me tremendously because I say to them, I know that we will do many classic things, but I want to do an album of songs, you know, because with CBS, which then becomes Sony, I did my album with John Denver.
Yeah.
And so I said, I want to do some songs. And Plácido knows, you know how. So you tell her how we look for the songs and everything it was.
We were very involved, you know. Sony asked me and brought me on board as a part of an executive producer, assistant producer, to choose all the songs, you know, and even suggest many duets, you know.
Oh, so picking up the right people for the right song.
I had a bit of saying into the voice.
Yeah.
And the duets, you know, like Josh Groban, we knew was going to be Sous le ciel de Paris. You know, Susan Boyle, we knew was going to be Come.
If I. When I. No, what's it?
No, Come.
If I. Well, you know.
No, Catherine Jenkins was.
No, Catherine Jenkins that's Come.
Come What May.
Come
What May, yeah.
So, but the other one is...
Then we had Harry Connick Jr. for Time After Time.
Yes.
And then we had Zaz for La Chanson des Vieux Amants, you know. And of course Susan Boyle, you know, was fantastic. And then for fun, I did a demo for him of What a Wonderful World.
Oh, just as a fun for your father, nothing.
No, he liked the song. Oh. He liked the song, so it was already part of the idea. And then I asked the arranger to send me the track, and I sang the track for fun. So I sent it to him, and the record label liked it, and we have a duet together in the same album.
Yeah,
I sing What a Wonderful World with him, you know, together.
I can see the beautiful way how you complement each other. Does it work with your other son in the family?
Well,
is he somehow involved in this music family business?
Alvaro is very much involved in another way. You know, he's organizing all my things, which is really very difficult.
So he's on a production side,
and between him and Pepe also, they have been working, which Plácido also does in Operalia. You know? So there are many aspects of me that I need. You know, I mean, I need help, and what better if my children are helping. I mean, I'm not a businessman that has a factory or something. I said, so now you are executive, you are the chairman, you are the president. You know, I cannot give them that, but I can in a way.
You give me something better.
And who is the creative element in a family? The one who always comes up with ideas, the one who always dreams a future for you?
Well, I think that I accept anything, you know, from my children. I mean, I think I have, you know, of course, with a wife like I have, you know, so the things, they come very much for her. Especially, Marta is incredible on things that you shouldn't do.
You shouldn't do?
Yeah. No, things that you should do, you know, more or less she knows that we are going to think, and we have, but things that we shouldn't do it, you know, so that's very important. That's very important.
You mentioned Operalia, which is a great platform to mentor, to help young talents to survive in the opera world, because that world and the industry itself changed a lot during those 50 years. So what is the best advice you're giving those young people who are singing?
Well, I think, first of all, the competition today is tremendous.
Much bigger than
your time? It's bigger than ever. I don't say that it's necessary more quality than ever. You know, I think every generation has been really what it has to be, you know. There are tremendous artists, and I mean, you should be very proud of some of the elements that you have. I mean, you have the Dvorsky family, Peter and Mirko, and you have Gruberova, and you have Venashkova, and now you have, I heard just yesterday night here, singing Adriana Kucherova. Really, you have such a fantastic artist, you know. I mean, this is really, you have a lot of elements. I think that the important thing is to be very well prepared, to know that the competition is tremendous.
How can one be prepared? We say one is talent, and the bigger part is hard work.
Yeah, and then not to run also.
Not to run?
Not to run, because sometimes there are many, many more theaters than ever. Many companies.
So there are many possibilities.
So there are is almost work for a great amount of young singers that if they are not well guided, you know, they will make mistakes. Yeah. And sometimes some impresarios, they don't care. They said, I need this kind of tenor, I need this kind of soprano, I take him.
Yeah.
And if they are not well guided, these artists, they can have a problem, you know. So that's important, and they are well guided, and they have the right management, and they have the right head, and to know that this is a very demanding career. And I especially admire very much, you know, the women, because it's always traveling alone, you know. I mean, so all these singers, they are just running out, you know. So we were saying hello to Adriana yesterday after the performance, Kucherova. She's just going to another place.
Yeah.
And I asked her, because I said, do you live in Bratislava? I said, when I am there, yes, you know, so but she's all around the world. So probably yesterday after Vienna, who knows where she's going? And the traveling is most of the time alone, you know?
Yeah. So coming back after the concert or the performance to a hotel room.
And as a woman is
to have children and so on.
Difficult.
It is a very, very difficult. I have a lot of admiration for the women for that sign, you know, that they can hold a career, they can do a career.
Placido, are you involved in the Spanish festival? The one you've based in Andalusia?
In Andalusia?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the first festival now, just finished. I just came a few days from Sevilla. It was a great success.
Why was Spain so important for you to do it there?
Well, it's my country, you know, and Sevilla is a magic city, you know, and Andalusia in general. Sevilla, Córdoba, Granada, Málaga, Cádiz, Ronda. You have, they really love it. You know, I was waiting to see if we continue. The people really it was amazing.
They appreciated it.
They appreciated it very much. So I think it will continue.
And Domingo, what would you do? Would you do something like that in Mexico? What do you consider your country? I guess it's not Spain. So where is your home?
No, actually, I have a triple nationality.
Triple?
I am a U.S. citizen, I am Spanish, and I am Mexican. And actually, my Mexican passport expired right now. You know? So I consider myself all three, really, you know. There are three very special countries. My father is Spanish, my mother is Mexican, and my home is the United States. So all three are very, very important in my life. You know, I don't think I could choose one better than the other. You know, I don't think so.
I think Plácido now, for the moment, he has to start really, I mean, making himself known, because he really has a talent, and I want him to do this kind of concerts very, very much. So I'm very, very happy that he did.
That he wants it for himself.
Oh yeah, I love to. I mean, I love to. You know, it's beautiful. You know, the advantage for me is that you don't require a whole production, a whole costumes. You know, like major investments. There's a brand new college in Long Island, which is like fundraising. You know, for students and an event. But there's going to be like 500 guests. You know, one of the biggest donors of Long Island, you know, powerful New York families, you know, and I'm performing for them there, you know, for the scholarships and all that. So it's, there's no limit, you know, at corporate level, at small theater, at big stadium, you know, the kind of music that I do, if it's well prepared, it can be done pretty much anywhere. You know, you don't need all the costumes and 80 choir piece and a soprano and a baritone and a conductor and orchestra, you know.
Also, today it was a big orchestra. And so
oh yeah, beautiful.
But you can do it, you know, with a small, with a small group.
The American audience, they can show so much admiration.
They love this kind of job.
They love it.
I mean, look at Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
And things like that. And I mean, to me, those are like.
You've been writing for Diana Ross.
I wrote a couple of songs. You know, to me, like Tony Bennett is like my role model in the style, like Michael Bublé, Josh Groban, and of course for me, top is Charles Aznavour. You know, if I could create a variety show or something like the style of Charles Aznavour, I would be so happy. I mean, where I could just like have a drink, sit down on a chair, talk to the public, sing, you know, and have a real interaction, you know, with people.
You can do it.
And get the spirit.
I don't have
And get the spirit.
doubt.
And I believe the United States is an ideal continent for doing these things, because they do appreciate a lot when you bring them a spirit of something new, even European.
Sure.
When you do a concert like this, it's very important that you speak the same language of the public. You know, because then you can really interchange. You know, so but Plácido can do it easily in Spanish, in Italian, in English, and in German. He can do it in 4 languages. You know, so he can really combine this kind of shows.
Yeah, tonight it was a little limited. It was limited to Dobru Noc and Jakiem, you know.
But it was nice anyway, and we appreciate it. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
Let me just for 1 second go back to the States. The reason why I'm asking this question is that you are still very active in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Which is a different kind of work, because this is something like you bringing inspiration into the place where classical music plays the main role, but you're bringing in directors from film, movies, completely different world. How did they react the first time when you came up with the idea?
Well, the first time you talked to them, they said, "Oh no, you know, what am I going to do?" You know, so
sounds crazy.
And it's not most of them the first time. There are other ones that know they are looking, but I have worked at least 10 movie directors that I bring as a director myself. And the first time I worked with a movie director, of course, with Zeffirelli many years back, and then with George Schlesinger, you know, with Tales of Hoffmann in Covent Garden and Bal in Maschera in Salzburg.
Did they enjoy it as well?
Oh yes, they
this
enjoy
new
it.
expanded
And
world.
when I went to Woody Allen, you know, so that was the first I approached him for La Boheme. I said, you know, I don't have time to read my films. I'm in New York, you know, sometimes I just And the second time I went because the chairman of the opera in Los Angeles know him very well. And I said, so we are going to do the Triptico. And she said, well, I need a short opera. I said, well, in the Triptico, there is one opera that lasts 1 hour.
Yeah.
And he did a hysterical production of Janis Kiki. And I have Bill Friedkin doing the other 2 operas, Tabarro and Swanji.
Yeah.
So I have 2 movie directors. I have Beresford also directing some operas. I have Maximilian Schell. I have Marta Keller. I have a lot of.
Yeah, but the biggest contrast is William Friedkin. I mean,
William Friedkin.
He's the creator of The Exorcist. Yeah. He directed The Exorcist. Imagine going from The Exorcist
to
that movie
Angelica
to Tabarro and Sor Angelica.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
so what does it take? A courage or a crazy idea brought to reality?
Well,
what does it take?
Vision.
A vision.
You know,
Visionary thinking.
Yeah, you know, I think somehow you have to. Also, you have to approach. So the first time I approached him with something I thought he would like it with La Boheme. That will be something, you know. So I think he might wanted to do it, you know, just down in Soho.
I believe that those who stay on the stage, they feel the energy that comes from the audience during the night when they perform. Do you still get it every night when you stay on the stage?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. And you know, you feel this kind of ¿cómo se dice? Magnetic. It's a magnetic power.
It's like a field created.
Then the public is there. It's there for you, and then they want so much for you, and you want so much from them also. You want so much from them, and it is kind of also it's kind of a communion. You know, it's a very spiritual thing. I always think, can you imagine, from the first moment that a performance of opera or a concert is announced in any city, people start to think, oh, we're going to go. From that day, also, you know, then you have a commitment in that city, and do you know how many things happen that day that you are performing? You know, so how many ladies maybe they have get new gowns, you know, they have going to the beauty parlor, you know. So the gentleman said, oh my God, so today I will go out of the work a little earlier because I want to rest, because I have to, so we are going to the performance, you know. So, and for you to know how much that public has done since they get the ticket, because they are interested in you. So that magnetism, it has to exist. And if it doesn't exist, there's something wrong.
And here when people line up in Vienna, Staatsoper, at midnight, at 10 degrees below zero, 15 degrees below zero, until the Kasse, you know, opens, you know. That's.
If you would advise your son of the lesson to be learned as an expertise on this 50 years journey, what would be your advice to him?
Well, there are so many things that one can talk, but one thing that I will tell him, and he knows it, and it's my way of thinking, is that it's a privilege for us to be able to do what we do. It's really a privilege to make the people happy, to make them forget about their problems, to make them be there living those 2 hours, those 3 hours with you. I think we are privileged people, and we can make people happy, you know, and not to forget always that. Then it is our duty to be really ready and in our best condition, best positive way, and really give the best to the public. Because without them, we are nothing. The public is the one that points at you and said, well, you know what? Just like in the school, so when they put you a star, you know, in the kindergarten, so they put you the quality
they
of
label you.
The label, and so
they make you or they break you.
Exactly. Without them, we are nothing.
So, Plácidos, I wish you both a good health, because it is so important, and you've learned your lesson. I'm sure.
Thank you. Of course.
It's very important for your wife and your mother as well, because if she is the intelligent unit in the family, it should serve you well. And I wish you a lot of happiness on your journey.
Thank you, Andrea, and we love your country. And I think it has been so pleasant, you know, the conversation.
It's been wonderful.
Thanks a lot for devoting time for this interview. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Ďakujem.
Našimi hostiami v dnešnej relácii Portrét boli Plácido Domingo senior a Plácido Domingo junior.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.